Hey guys! So yeah, that was a really awkward spot to end on last time.
That was a really awkward event to end on. Here in the living room.
It was very strange, but we kind of had to deal with a few things right away. Things that definitely needed to be dealt with.
Corpse disposal, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just one second, but...
To further tantalize you.
You know, these trials are real long anyway, and we don't want it to stretch on too long.
Yeah.
So, as for what happened, the official cat of the Bittersweet gamers is a very large, powerful death machine of a cat.
Yes.
And he often interrupts recordings by saying things like, "I want food," or "I want to play," or "give me attention," or "I wish to stalk outside like my ancestors did, capture great game, and drag it into the house to slay and then devour it."
In front of us. Upon seeing the cat at the door.
By the way, about half of our cuts are to deal with the cat.
Yes. I walked over, opened the door, and the cat was like, "Ah, excellent, the door has been opened. Let me take 2 steps to my left, grab the rat corpse that none of you saw before, run inside the house with it before you can shut the door. I will then fling it up into the air and bat around with it as a toy, and then devour it in front of you."
Yes, so he brought in a rat bigger than his head, and incidentally, this cat has chased off all the other local feral cats or stray cats or other people's cats.
Our cat is huge.
He's a giant monster. He flung the rat corpse around the room, punched it, kicked it, rolled over on his back, and just started bouncing it on his paws. And when he finally decided he'd had enough, well... Oh, by the way, this whole thing took about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He ripped half of the rat's head off, consumed the inside of the rat's head so that the hide of the rat's face was now hanging off the remains of the rat, and then with loud and powerful bone-crunching jaws...
Literally. He crunched its bones. I mean, where were you going to go with that? That wasn't that.
Yeah, it took him a while. Now, most of the time when the cat does this... By the way, if we think he's about to bring in the corpse of an animal...
We usually don't open the door.
He does not get to come in.
He deceived us this time.
He's gotten very good at hiding them. So, most of the time when he brings in an animal corpse, or maybe it's still alive about half the time.
Yeah.
He's really good at not leaving a mess. I mean, he's brought in birds, he's brought in mice, he's brought in voles, he's brought in smaller rats, and he normally consumes them with no problem, but...
This time he was just like, "Oh no, you guys are in the middle of an episode. I'm a messy eater."
So, we had to kind of clean up bloody rat chunks. Now, if you've never had to clean up large blood stains on the carpet, it's not actually that hard, but it's really gross, especially when you get the fleshy chunks, okay? So we had to do this in the middle of the trial! We couldn't just come right back! We had to deal with it then! So let's get back onto the trial! I mean, how serendipitous that... in a game about murder, in the middle of a murder trial...
There was a murder.
And it happened to be the first trial, too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of concerned what's going to happen for the next one.
Is he just going to bring in consecutively bigger prey?
Yeah, I mean, by the time we get to, the end of the game, he's going to be dragging in a moose.
So now that we've dealt with one dirty rat, let's see if we can't pin the blame on another dirty rat.
One more thing. Rather surprisingly for a bunch of blowhards like us, we haven't really said too much during the trial, and throughout the rest of this episode, we're kind of not going to. The main reason is, pretty obviously we barfed all this stuff out before, and so what else is there for us to say? We didn't have any idea how the game was going to present this.
Yeah.
We knew that there was going to be a trial, and that's it.
Yeah, basically. Now that we have a better idea about how these trials are going to proceed, our tactics are going to be a bit more refined.
Right. We're going to keep our cards closer to the chest, in the future. Not spell out everything in so many terms and just try to let it out during the trial, which is, I believe, the norm. But it's the norm because it makes sense to do it that way.
Yeah, logical progression.
Right, but now we know how it works, so sorry about that.
We really feel like we could do better at presenting the trials, and with what we've learned on this first trial, hopefully the other ones are going to be a lot more entertaining for you all.
In other words, we're going to save our walking through of the incident step by step for the trial itself.
Where it comes out step by step. Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates, and that's Sayaka.
Obviously.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
I mean, even when we were saying, like, Harp-de-Darp Ishimaru did it,
Right.
just because he's Ishimaru, he couldn't have done that when he saw anybody other... Nobody would have left the room, except he would have had to see Makoto leave Sayaka's room.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just not really enough.
Right.
You can also infer as much from her note.
Right. There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
That's true.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
The only reason we could come up with, because we tried to look at it from different angles, the only thing we could immediately come up with was suicide.
Yeah.
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
Right.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
Because you need the contents of that room.
Yeah.
Or the attributes, but there's no reason that she would need the bathroom. Why invite someone in to attack them and then just hide?
Yeah, because if he had his screwdriver, he'd have gotten in there anyway, even if it was her room.
Yeah, and if she did want to invite him in, I mean, she could have been trying to kill him herself to get out, but that doesn't seem like, so then she could graduate.
Yeah, but there's a lot of evidence for that, though.
Because it's like, if she would have... Why would she have fallen into despair... And then, there's nothing left I can live for out there, I have to get out. Now, I suppose it's possible. I suppose it could have been now that the rest of the group is gone, I'm the only person left. She didn't yet know that everyone who didn't graduate would die there. And she did ask Makoto for help.
Right.
So it's that would support her attempting
to graduate.
Attempting to murder Leon. But then... Why would she have picked Leon?
Instead of someone she might have a better chance with? Because Leon's an athlete.
Yeah, why would, sure, Sayaka is physically active and has, a lot of stamina because she's an idol singer, and that is hard. But if she was trying to get an easy target, she could have gotten one of the girls.
Yeah.
And, even if she wanted to do it in another room, like I was saying with Please Help Me, then... please help me, Makoto, this is why I need your room.
Right.
Then the only attribute of the room was the bathroom and the sword, right?
Right. Well, she didn't know about the bathroom ahead of time.
Either that, or and she didn't know about the bathroom. Either that, or she was trying to frame Makoto, and that just seems
doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense. And since she didn't know about the bathroom ahead of time, it must have been the sword.
Right.
That's the only reason she would need to be there, is either frame Makoto, or she wanted them to have access to that sword.
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
No, completely the opposite.
We figured it out. We know who did it. Whoever she invited over is the culprit.
Brilliant logic you have there. Now, who is it?
But we still don't know who it is,
Yeah.
goddamn idiot.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Now, we still aren't sure about all the marks all over the bed.
Right.
Why would you waste time attacking the bed if she's not in it? But there's physical evidence that she attacked first.
Yeah.
It could have been that there was just a lot of moving around in the struggle. She ended up on the bed.
Yeah.
And that would make sense as Leon was wildly swinging the thing everywhere.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Why,
Yes.
yes, it was.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Man, you were there when Makoto and Kyoko were investigating. Come on, guys. Like, surely you were curious.
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself.
There it is. Sayaka, we'd forgotten that detail too, that Sayaka is the one who said that you should take this sword.
Mm-hmm.
But why would she have been planning it since then?
Well, we said that maybe she is psychic. Maybe
Right.
she saw this whole thing.
And there could have been something, and there is that angle too, that maybe she actually was seeing something into the future. But in that case, we would need to know something like that. And
Right.
that can't be proven with any of the evidence
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
or the DVD.
Right.
Which we were kind of relying on for the psychic angle. Which maybe she's not. Maybe she just has good intuition, but she says it over and over.
It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
What else could it have been?
Gold paint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Bammo!
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
And why was that a place that was being targeted?
She had the knife.
And we can prove that she had the knife
And
because...
she's right-handed.
Well, it's because the chips on the sheath.
Yeah.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
And so her being right-handed would mean, like, that's why she had the knife in her right hand, is because she was right-handed.
I'm sure if we pulled the knife out, we could probably find some glitter on it.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Oh, if only it was that easy.
I mean, we can point to the culprit, yes, but is that going to be satisfactory? We need to get there first.
Right.
What happened in my room and what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear.
Okay!
More tutorial! Oh no!
Oh!
Multiple bullets! Okay, so we have to cycle through and use the right evidence, which only makes sense, but
Right.
that's going to be kind of fun. Oh. Ah, wonderful! And we set the logic difficulty to hard, so we will have to sort through all the evidence. Okay, replica sword sheath. Kitchen knife set, replica sword.
Sword sheath. I'm betting it's the sword sheath.
Yeah, it has to be the sword sheath, because that's the part...
Fighting broke out. The culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt.
Incorrect.
The sword-based sneak attack.
Nope.
No, you're fine. That button! Why do I keep wanting to hit? No, because it's a trigger button.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword,
And the sheath proves it.
Yeah.
Why not?
because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it, like someone cut into it with something sharp.
And it's already well established that Sayaka had the knife.
Yep.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
I'm too freaking stupid for this.
It's kind of nuts. Never in our wildest dreams would we have imagined that Sayaka would have made the first attack.
Yeah.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
I see you're speaking from great personal experience.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
They
Dude,
got attacked with the kitchen knife. Maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse.
right.
In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out.
Okay, give it your best shot, man.
The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere.
No.
Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
And then she broke her own wrist with the sword?
Yes, that's exactly it. Good job, Ishimaru. You've saved us all.
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her
What?
too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Because Ishimaru isn't possibly going to suggest that someone like Sayaka would have attacked first.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
I mean, for one, her hands.
Right.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Leon!
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this
Her
clear.
hands.
The part of the body that shows...
Her palm.
Yeah, it's her palms.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
Thinking about it like this, when, you know, the water doesn't run overnight, probably specifically for this reason.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. When did Leon show up? What group?
What do you mean?
Remember when the morning after when we found out? That doesn't really matter.
That doesn't really matter.
He would have had time to wash all that off. I mean, especially
He was one of the later ones.
Huh?
He was one of the late group.
Right.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
The gold paint.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Exactly.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Where the water don't run.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
You,
my God.
You have so many problems, it's ridiculous.
No, that's not
I actually
it at
don't
all.
think she's ugly.
Well, no, nobody should think she's ugly, but it's like
Her
self-loathing.
personality is, yeah.
Yeah, her personality is extremely ugly. There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands because the water was off. It was overnight.
Right?
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here.
Well, maybe that's part of your problem, sweetie.
How many days has it been? Come on!
3 or 4.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly doggy.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
How far does your perversion go, man?
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword.
Meaning Sayaka attacked first.
Right.
Hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Would have to have been Sayaka.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
We already established this?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Again, we only have our theory as to why she did it.
Right.
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
She was either trying to get herself killed...
Or kill Leon.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
And once again, what she's supposing is wrong. Okay.
I mean, that's consistent.
Yeah.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That just doesn't seem right. We haven't had any evidence that would indicate that. I mean, the best we get is that, will you always be with me? Will you help me with anything?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying.
And then, of course, were this the truth, she didn't switch the nameplates back.
Yeah. Yeah, like lure Leon there, kill him, and then...
And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
And there's plenty of evidence for that.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior.
Thank you?
I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
That is very true.
I know.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
I still think there's something else to it.
I mean, Leon is still the culprit here.
Yeah.
Just because that's already how the rules have been established, and if he wanted to not do that, then
He didn't have to. Yeah.
I mean, he could have been like self-defense, 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 but I mean, he wouldn't have known that.
Well, he also didn't have to pursue her into the bathroom. That's the thing. He broke into the bathroom and killed her. Regardless of what the beginning of the circumstances was, Leon made that choice.
Right.
Just hold on. That can't be true. Because...
Why did she... I mean, she did have a reason to get back out right away.
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument.
I like how he's acting as the freaking arbiter.
Oh yeah, he should be, right?
Yeah, but I didn't actually expect him to!
And at any time there's a point that he wants to hammer home, he has to...
Yeah.
He's like, sticks it in like, that's irrelevant, or, well, this is the truth.
You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it.
Oh, shut up!
Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Well, it is true that from the very beginning we were both like, I don't really trust her that much.
Right? But she seems to be the most trustworthy.
And we're assuming, we were assuming that there was going to be some sort of a betrayal.
Right.
So it could be that straightforward. Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left, even though that's blatantly incorrect.
Right? Trash duty was one I would get ready.
I suppose.
Oh no, dying message.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, duh.
But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Right there.
Hey, stupid.
No.
Of course he's the one who says that.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
Huh. Well, of course, you didn't want to spend any time investigating in there, did you?
Right?
A dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember?
And it's like, why would she try to hide it?
From him. Because if he saw it, he would try and, like, smudge it or...
Get rid
Wipe
of
it
it.
out.
Yeah, but it's like she wouldn't start writing it right in front of him.
No, but she didn't die right away.
Well, yeah, that's when she would have had to write it. Well, anyway.
11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, yeah, the fact that only the characters in the game saw 11037 before we saw Leon.
Before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Well, the evidence for that is the blood on her finger. Left index finger.
Right.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I mean, it could have been used by somebody else,
right?
But...
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still...
What does 11037 mean?
What the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
Yeah,
math and whatnot.
She knows all about those numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Thank you.
As Kyoko is like, honestly, all of you people are so foolish.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers.
Yeah, I mean, any other artists around here?
Right?
Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
My God!
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Noelle? I don't understand. How is that a clue?
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
You guys are having
Even
far
if
too
that
much fun
really
with this.
is an N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
Oh, come on! I have no idea! I must kill myself in shame!
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
So she's gonna hold our hand through the first one, kind of.
Yeah. Huh? Rotate it? Gasp!
It's a name!
Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it.
Because I'm not an airhead.
Whose name did she write?
Guys! The real killer's name, and now I get to... Okay, here we go. Juko! This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That you get to actually accuse. Dude!
And now we get to provide proof to prove it.
Right.
Proof.
The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
Never be this stupid ever again, guys, please.
Please!
If you turn the message around...
If this would have been...
Like, is this he for me? What?
If this would have been Zero Escape, like, the characters there would have figured it out in, like, 4 seconds flat. Or maybe it would have been, like, 1 or 2 scenes of dialogue.
It becomes the letters L-E-O-N.
L-E-O-N. Huh. It seems like it's spelling something, but I have no idea what. What do you think, Leon?
I totally think it was Chihiro!
L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence.
A coincidence?
Oh, no, it's clearly a coincidence. It's not related to anything.
It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
That's not how letters work.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result...
It's the only natural, physical way to do it.
Yeah.
When you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
Also, she probably assumed you guys were smart enough to figure out what she wrote, and I bet she must be kind of disappointed.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
She's in the afterlife like, come on, guys!
I don't think anybody else thinks it's a stretch.
I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Yeah, she really is just guiding us straight through it.
Yeah.
Huh? You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence
sure.
Leon tried to get rid of?
Mm-hmm.
Or that... Yeah.
Da-da-da-da!
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood
Only
on her.
it stands to reason.
And it's not like you could wash it.
Right?
And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked.
Yeah, it would make sense. He got in, did what he had to do, and then just ran the heck out.
Isn't that right, Leon?
Yeah?
Is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Well, let's bring up the matter of how it got into the incinerator.
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
Ah, but dear Leon, there's other evidence.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Thinking about it, the guys are all about the right size, so it could conceivably fit on any of their arms.
Right.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burnt remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay...
Where it was... Oh.
Would it be how or where?
How?
How is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer
No one else
is.
would be able to huck it in there.
Of course, but it's like in order to get that answer, you could also make the argument for where.
Yeah, see? That's why I was a little...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
So
Thank you for handing me this shovel, or for taking the shovel from me.
Yeah, so it has to be he for me, right?
You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Except that he for me clearly wouldn't fit that sleeve.
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is a real killer.
The crystal ball, of course.
I love it. Make your argument.
Shattered crystal ball. Yeah.
The key to the trash room.
Okay.
Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person.
Nope.
Oh,
shit. Okay, I guess that was correct.
No, okay, no. I need to pay more attention.
That was my fault, too.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, that's fine.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it,
That's
right?
correct.
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the
That's
trash.
true.
And you'd have to get...
Nope. There it is.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
It's like the pressure.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta go now. I don't have time to think.
I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
And of course, we know exactly what it is, but it's
Yeah.
like, how do you translate that into game logic?
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Incorrect!
Yes, you could. if you use this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but...
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it didn't give him the power to control the world either.
But how would you use it?
Well, you like pray really hard and like move your hands.
I don't think that's what she means.
Oh. Okay, so the killer had to use...
Throw it!
I got it!
Divine with it?
Simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Like, really, nobody else can do that. But, you know, Leon isn't actually aware of how special he is in
That's
being
true.
able to pull that off because he just jumped in and became the best high school student baseball player in the world.
Right, right.
Someone threw a gap in the gate? Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on? Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
And he's gonna bring up the fairy again.
Hifumi had the key. So the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
And of everybody here, you're the only person with the skills to reliably think you can pull that off.
Right?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Exactly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
Uh-huh.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right?
Guys!
Didn't look that far, but...
Ultimate baseball!
Yeah.
Pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
Ultimate baseball.
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
I'm a musician!
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
It wouldn't have been... Baseball!
Right.
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Yeah!
Booyah!
Any idea how stupid you sound right now?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shepherd brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
Okay, you got an argument here?
Probably not.
Still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that,
Yes?
we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon.
Yeah.
But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
Ah, so there's now a closing argument.
I love this.
This is really fun. We're gonna, once we turn the difficulty up, especially... Okay, we give a complete summary of the case. We have to reproduce the flow of events for the case in the form of a comic book. However, there's a number of pieces missing. So we have to complete the comic using the provided truth panels.
Climax interference, start!
Oh, this
What the?
Okay, we've got quite some time, too. Okay, my room is the scene of the crime. Instant began when the killer entered.
Right there.
Ah, we drag it. Got it. It's got to be that, right?
Yeah.
Man, these panels! Okay, so that'd be the sword.
Yeah.
And he looks behind, and then she's like, Chog! And so now he's got to defend himself. Has he already defended himself? No, now he pulls out the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's the killer like, Hoorya!
Okay, Gollum.
Yeah, right? It looks exactly like... Oh, that's because we're having to prove
You're right,
who he is.
you're right.
So, okay. Man, I love this style. If it weren't for the time, I'd love to just sit and talk about it. Okay, so
we need to find her broken wrist.
Which, I mean, we saw that one.
Oh, right there with the knife falling.
Yeah. Okay, because the wrist is there. Knife falls. Act 2. Okay.
And now he's going to use the screwdriver on the door here.
Yeah.
And then,
man, I want to like look at it. You know.
I know, but
I mean, we've got more than enough time if we wanted to, so we can kind of admire it.
And then this is her writing the name. Wait.
No, that's not it.
That is.
No, because the name's
now
already
look
written
down.
there.
There's him blocking with the sheath. That should be further to the right.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so then he goes. That's when he gets the lint roller.
Yeah.
Uses that. Then gets here, and he's like, "Haw, pitch!" And that's really cool. Okay, so the first one
he turns on,
the crystal ball. Throws the crystal ball.
And then he throws
turns it on.
Rolls it up like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, then he throws that, gets some weight, and then that last one. Okay.
So they're not all used.
Okay, so wouldn't that mean that would be that?
No, because, see, in the next panel, you see that the door handle is...
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So I think we're good.
But the toolkit wasn't open.
But he clearly... Not Makoto's. But Leon's.
But we don't have any evidence that proves that.
Well, we don't have to, really. We've already got all the other evidence.
Well, it's just important for determining whether it's this one or this panel.
But we know it was unscrewed. Like, if you look at the panel, you see that the doorknob has already been unscrewed.
Well, what if he just... I mean, remember what Kyoko said, is that it was kind of broken, right?
They specifically said that someone unscrewed it.
No, they never said the word unscrewed.
Oh, well then... Okay, then yeah, that makes perfect sense.
He was like, he tried it, he was confused, but for whatever reason...
Okay, then he must have just ripped it off or whatever. So everything else seems okay.
Okay, so is that it?
Here's exactly what
Yes.
happened. I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning.
Man, this is great!
Yeah!
And then it animates it.
The killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier.
Man, I can't believe she tried to frame Makoto, except that we had already suspected kind of instantly that she was not going to be trustworthy, just because that's like the obvious betrayal. It's like, you just think that'd be later on. And what about all of that, like, why... Makoto will get to this.
But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back.
Yo-pa!
A strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist.
Okay.
Okay, so it still takes that amount of time.
Okay.
It's that. It wasn't that the knife was falling.
Oh, because the knife's falling right there. Okay.
During the struggle, a strike.
Okay.
And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom.
I like the music.
Oh yeah, it's the opening.
Oh no, see.
Went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open.
Okay, no, you're right.
What I didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew.
Okay, now that we,
so we have to avoid the ones that are already being shown.
Okay, now that we know what, like, how this is gonna work in the future, we'll just like run it all through and cut it.
Yeah.
No reason to waste everybody's time.
So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife.
So we just look for Leon's toolkit, and that will prove it unequivocally.
Yeah, you're right.
And stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her.
This is really morbid.
Yeah.
All her strength was gone.
I mean, that goes without saying, but...
The killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area.
Wonder what they did with the. Wonder what he did with the sheets.
Could just put it. Maybe it's in his trash can.
Yeah, it's possible.
They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room.
Wonder why he took it.
The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator.
Man, this really is great, isn't it?
Yeah!
Which then quickly roared to life.
Roar.
I love that.
Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief.
Like, so monstrous and alien looking.
But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence.
There'd be a dispute if that weren't there. But
Right.
it would still peg him.
Right.
But you could argue against it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah! And now,
Yeah!
boom!
Right, Leon.
Yeah!
Screw you, you punk!
It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of
Right,
your
here we
shirt.
go.
Ah!
And that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Well, he'll object to everything, but
Right.
it doesn't matter.
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories. You need evidence. Where's the evidence?
We
We
what?
need evidence. It's all
Oh,
bullshit. It's
his
bullshit, and
toolkit.
I refuse to acknowledge it.
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in
And now we
possession of
provide the
that
final
evidence.
bit of evidence that drives it home.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we didn't get a chance to actually notice and inspect all of this ahead of time, meaning that when we got and because the other characters provide some of the evidence in the trial, that a lot of it has to get put together in the trial because
Yeah.
there's stuff that the player just wouldn't know. I mean, he hasn't opened the toolkit and really looked at it because
Right.
it didn't seem like it was important because they wouldn't let us.
Right.
Because if we had, then it would not have this final bit right here. Bullet time battle. Okay.
Good lord! What is happening?
Okay. AKA the BTB, BTW.
BT dubs.
Okay, destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm!
What?
Okay, so match your button presses with each tempo marker. Oh, great, I'm on an Xbox controller because it's really easy to plug into a PC, you know?
Right, right.
But I've never played an Xbox, so I'm not really that good with the buttons. So it's like a rhythm game. That's really fascinating. Okay, and how do you pick which one? Do you just have to destroy all the statements?
Oh god.
Okay. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get into a tempo down situation. Alright, this is complicated and I'm kind of concerned. Also, I'm concerned about our credibility, or the influence gauge. Like, we're kind of starting to run out, you know? Okay, and once you've dealt enough damage, the weak spot shows up and you truth bullet it. You gotta do it fast. Dang it!
When the killer broke the bathroom doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. So what did the killer use?
Toolkit.
What did the killer use to take apart the doorknob?
You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid!
No, you!
You're ugly, 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 ugly!
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Jerk, 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 jerk! Okay, indisputable evidence. There's only one thing it can be.
Right. The moment of truth.
Where's your proof?
A.
You kidding me?
And then Y.
Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking.
I get A to lock on and then Y to blow it up.
Okay, it goes like that.
You kidding me? Not a chance.
Ah, they're about to blow up. That's what does damage to you.
When do I hit?
Hit Y.
You kidding me?
In time with the dots that move across.
Not a chance.
You want to highlight as many as you can and then hit Y to blow them up.
Stupid.
Now.
You lied.
Woo.
Stop talking.
Woo!
Okay, I figured out.
And then Y.
We finally figured out how it worked.
Woo! We almost lost there.
Woo! Alright, well, now we understand how to handle it.
Yeah.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed.
I mean, they throw so much at you, and you don't exactly get a chance to practice or really grasp it till you do it. Now we got this down.
I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
And that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
Which is why it had to have been his, and nobody's looked.
Right.
Can he produce, like, Makoto and everybody else can produce their toolkit that hasn't been used. Can Leon do the same?
Right.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
So he was also going there with the intent to kill.
Yeah.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Leon's.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then...
The next time I'm in an argument, I'm going to defend myself with the Leon strategy.
The screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
It'll have been opened for one.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Stupid, stupid!
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Yeah, afraid there's quite a lot of evidence, and when it comes to the vote, you're kind of hosed.
Stupid.
But you're hosed anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, wow!
God!
Wow!
Woo!
So, you have no rebuttal?
Your rebuttal.
Realizing that you're facing your own death due to your own failures. How much, after killing another person, like how much of a crash can that be?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Still, that's really great.
Stupid? Yes?
Yeah, I didn't do so good right at the end there. Oh, apparently you get coins based on how well you do?
Ah. Still got an A rank. Dang!
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection.
I wonder if there's going to be more than one vote against it being Leon.
Right.
Just to remind you all,
if you get it wrong, you die!
make triple
Well, sure, you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be
You have to
punished for
vote.
something so minor, right?
Well, as long as the majority hits, that's a rule that could come up later when there's some question, but would there ever be a situation with so much question?
Well,
Okay, then let's get excited!
I mean, on the one hand, they are choosing someone to die. There's that angle they could take.
Right.
Although in this instance, there's probably not much sympathy for Leon.
Yeah.
Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one?
Do I actually get to pull the lever myself? Come on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Jackpot! Hooray, I'm so happy!
This is ridiculous.
It's pretty excellent.
I love it.
It produces such complicated emotions, you know?
Uh-huh.
It's like, it's also morbid, but it's also cheery, and
Yeah.
so the effect on you is like, I mean,
uncomfortable.
It's like we're uncomfortable, but even still, we've been cheering and laughing throughout the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just odd.
Uh-oh, looks like you got it right on the money. The Blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kuwata.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second.
Leon, did you really kill Sayaka? I don't believe it.
You son of a
Son of a bitch! What the hell is wrong with you? I'll kill you myself.
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So, that's why...
I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was a complete chance that I wound up like this.
I was just... unlucky. That's all.
There's something he could have done.
Not chosen to kill her.
He brought his toolkit.
You're right, yeah.
He was intending to kill her from the beginning, or
Yeah.
he wouldn't have brought that toolkit.
That's right.
Hey, come on!
You expect me to just accept my death?
Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. But when I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, and remember, Monokuma tried to make us... He was like, no, don't even waste your time talking about this motive part.
Yeah.
And this is clearly an important point. I mean, we got to watch that DVD. Then that truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. And I mean, maybe I'm still having a hard time accepting that.
Me too.
But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind, it's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine.
Now we're trapped here, with no way out. They're probably waiting for me. I can't afford to be stuck in here.
The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends. To have to see something like that happen to them. And Sayaka...
I did whatever it took to reach that dream.
That's right, she did say that.
I mean it, even some things that weren't so not pleasant.
And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me.
Man, that's a bitter pill to swallow.
So when she said...
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
I mean, that was the one thing we kept coming back to,
Yeah.
is saying that was why she was actually doing it aggressively. She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that.
Boy howdy, the entertainment industry sure must be terrifying, huh?
I don't even want to hear any more of this garbage from you.
I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seemed so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside, she descended into pure madness.
And that haste, you know, that's why she cracked so fast.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
I understand. Really I do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Right. Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger these feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse.
Stop screwing with us! This is all your fault! Sayaka being forced to do something like that, all of it, everything, it's all your fault! Suddenly in a frenzy, I really foolishly lunged at Monokuma.
Someone grab him, please. Thank you.
But
That's enough.
as angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now.
She's right. She's completely right. Damn it!
Ah, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were going to give me a good walloping.
Oh, don't even patronize me after just all the insults you did before when I threw that punch.
Just barely avoided punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon Kuwata will receive his punishment.
And naturally, as our reward, we get to watch.
Punishment? You mean execution?
Oh no.
I mean, sympathy's running low.
Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
You brought your toolkit.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? After she shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
So he didn't bring it with him, but he still intended to kill her.
Yeah, apparently. We don't actually know on that point.
That's true.
But regardless,
Either way, yeah.
Even if he didn't from the very beginning, he still went back to get the toolkit.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it not because you had an unclouded intent to commit murder?
No, that's not.
Stop it. I've had enough of this.
Oh.
Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either, because the one to blame is him, which is
correct.
The very first thing that we said,
right,
in this when we found out this situation in this game.
Mm-hmm. Swa?
If it weren't for you, this would never have happened to Sayaka or Leon or Junko.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation, the mastermind!
Uh-oh. Did you awaken to your sense of justice?
Well, Makoto sure has, but I'll tell you what, my sense of justice has been going since the very beginning of this.
Right. Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world.
I'm not even going to get into an argument like this with you because I'd go on for like 30 minutes.
Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you?
In any case, you can't say, that means justice is bad and I am right. I mean, who's actually going to buy that without, like, some serious questions. Just shut up!
Okay, well, anyway, more importantly...
Chills, kills!
Let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for, the punishment.
I'm begging you, please, don't do this.
Hey,
No more begging. No more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop, please.
now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Leon Kuwata, the ultimate baseball star.
I admit to being curious, but...
No.
So it's like, after this whole situation, 3 people are now dead. Everybody should start taking this seriously.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
1 or 2 people won't, of course.
Toko Byakuya.
Of course. Hit the... Oh my god! On the one hand, it's charming, but on the other... Oh, that's really interesting visually.
Yeah!
I mean, this is right in the opening.
Right.
But
without the proper context, it's not really a spoiler, I would say.
Or more than they really gave one.
Right. Oh god!
Well, let's just start with the extremely violent part, shall we? Those were balls, too, not... The 1,000...
blows.
The one that it's baseballs. Killing him with baseballs.
Oh! Oh god!
God, just pounding him into...
Oh!
I mean, that is way more disturbing than...
Yeah!
And that freaking silly music... Ugh. Man, I'm telling you, this should make everyone realize that if they just play along with this game, this is what is waiting for them on the other end. Sure, in trying to actually fight against the mastermind, there's a great chance that a lot of people are gonna die, but it's like, if you have to throw your life away, wouldn't you rather throw it away struggling to save yourself and or save others instead of for this?
Yeah.
What we saw, that was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme!
Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control!
I'm so glad that you're having so much fun.
What's going on?
I can't take this anymore. Do we really have to keep doing this? I just can't take it.
Well, hey, if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever.
But you would never accept that at all, would you?
But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
That is not an option.
Damn you!
Man, fuck you! Why the fuck are you doing all this evil shit to us?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful, secret society type of guy.
'Cause you are?
Say what?
Or in this case, a dark, awful, secret society type of bear.
Oh, my mistake.
So why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such a grueling ordeal?
Hey,
It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense.
In other words, there is no way that he's going to say why we're actually here.
Right. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible.
And of course, by acting so... with so much provocation It just helps feed into what it is they're trying to accomplish, which is either to get them to kill each other or to not get them to kill each other.
Yeah. Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together. You piece of shit. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Of course we can't cut free of the outside world, being trapped in this insane place.
It's not like saying that Monokuma is to blame absolves anybody else. But ultimately, the buck stops with him.
Yeah.
Or the bear stops with him. That was so half-hearted. I won't do it again.
Thank you. You're trapped, are you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of this school, your thinking will change, for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever? What are you trying to say?
Hey.
I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in there. Just like before. Anyway, let's get to the Blackened's punishment. That's what everyone is waiting for, after all.
Everyone.
Is this some kind of televised show? Maybe it is like Battle Royale.
Hey.
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to?
And that is our first major point in trying to understand what this mystery is all about.
Sorry, I said everything I've got to say. I need to save some of the fun for later.
And just like that, he was gone. He left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. But it was in that moment.
Just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second?
Why, do you wish to say anything about, if not your own identity, but, hey, let's work together to get through this?
Then yes!
Because you and I, Kyoko, were the only people who actually did anything.
That's true.
She moved in close and whispered into my ear.
Nice butt. Before we head back...
Well, thanks. You are my type, but...
There's something I want to talk to you about.
Now? It's about Sayaka, isn't it?
I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself.
You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind, and as us, it didn't cross our mind either. We were so concerned, or so convinced that it was actually something of a suicide attempt.
Uh-huh.
I feel like such a fool, becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why. As she lay dying, she was thinking of you.
She was thinking of me. You can't just say something like that. There's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However...
Even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you.
What?
So...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message.
Right. That was one of the reasons we were assuming that it had to have been intentional.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her.
Certainly.
That's certainly one possibility. But I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway...
She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it.
Why are you telling me all this?
Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward.
I agree about moving forward, but Leon ain't no buddy of mine.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Are you from the future?
From
the way she's talking, she's kind of talking like she already knows what's going to happen.
Well, she clearly has some knowledge that nobody else has.
I know, but the way she's talking just has me thinking she might be from the future or something of along those lines.
Like somebody who shouldn't be here?
Yeah.
And she is the ultimate
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that I buy it, but it's like something that gives her...
Yeah, there's something about it that just makes me think that. Just think about the way she says things with that mindset and tell me, like, as we go along, if that kind of seems to fit.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not going to, like, say that you're absolutely wrong, because this is a, kind of a wacky game. A wacky, morbid game.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't make like, a jump like that.
Yeah.
I mean, initially part of her idea was that she had been through something like this before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there still could be that. But, I mean, there's also the fact that, what have we been crowing about this whole time? Which was that you need somebody like this. Like a center, a heart. And she's just recognizing that with her, like, level of competence and obvious observation. However, I wouldn't put it past this game to throw something completely out of left field like that. And I mean, I can see the lines that you're talking about.
Because why does she say, like, you have to solve this mystery on your own? Like, that's how it's supposed to happen.
Because that could have just been her realizing how central Makoto was to this, and knowing that he wasn't the one who did it.
Okay.
Move past their deaths. I could never do that. No. I'm going to carry them with me for the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry their memories with me wherever I go.
So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing the hard road.
That's the decision I'd probably try to make, but it's not like I can really speak for myself in a situation like this, for God's sake.
Right? Well, I have high expectations for you.
I mean, I feel like that's the best way to honor the dead, is to just remember.
No mention of Junko?
Right?
What?
We're the only people who kept mentioning her.
I know.
As she said that, she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka?
Oh, well... I'm psychic.
Huh?
Very smooth, man. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Kidding. I just have pretty good intuition. Okay, that was intense, and we are exhausted.
Down
to 12.
Jesus, in just one